Meanwhile, the Karnataka Azan loudspeaker row only escalates, with the Karnataka Chief Minister holding a meeting with the Home Department officials. A decision has now been arrived upon on the use of loudspeakers in the state, as use of loudspeakers now must obtain permissions in the next 15 days. A letter has been written by the Chief Secretary to the Additional Chief Secretary, Environment, on ensuring that court orders on loudspeakers are followed. Those who don't obtain permission should remove voluntarily. The committee shall be formed to decide on the application of loudspeakers. Nolan Pinto joining us live more on that. Nolan, give us an understanding on the Karnataka government's decision on loudspeakers. We believe that a 15-day ultimatum has been given, either comply or pull down.
Well, in fact, let me just read out verbatim what they have stated. They said that those who do not obtain should voluntarily remove or should be removed by the designated authority. So basically, they've given them 15 days time. They say that those who have loudspeakers or utilize loudspeakers or public address systems must go to the designated authorities. And they've also explained who are the designated authorities. So it can be different. In police commissionerate areas, it's the police additional commissioner, you have the police jurisdictional executive engineers, and in those areas where you have the DYSP, you have certain rules. So they have actually told who has to be contacted, how they have to do so, and 15 days time has been given. Now, Nabila, we have seen what really happened in the past few days. Early in the morning, the Bajrang Dal activists came about with the Suprabhata. They started to use the loudspeakers. They say that since the government was actually not doing anything as such, they had no option but to resort to this action. And yesterday, this is dated the 9th of May, the meeting took place over there, and they have come about with this particular, we can't say order
right
as of now, but with these particular rules and regulations that need to be followed in the next 15 days by everyone.
But Nolan, for what we hear is that concerned people have not yet received this notice as yet. The notice has been written, or rather the letter has been already framed, but it needs to be issued and needs to reach the concerned departments, and that the wait is on for that. Let me cut across to S. Prakash. Nolan, stay with us. S. Prakash, BJP spokesperson, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Prakash, a 15-day ultimatum that the Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai has given to all usage of loudspeakers. Does that mean it covers mosques, temples, and even private usage of loudspeakers?
The rule of the law is being enforced in Karnataka. This act was there about 20 years back. Subsequently, 2005, it was also, once again, even Supreme Court gave its judgment to observe that particular decibel level while using the loudspeakers. It was not implemented. Now it is implemented across the state for all the religious functions and religious institutions, and also, as you said, public functions also. We should not look at it in a communal angle, and the rule of the law is being enforced in the state.
All right, stay with us. I'm going to cut across to Mr. Kalappa. Brijesh Kalappa is also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Kalappa, as part of the Congress party, you, of course, under your governance, this issue had not come up. But it seems like now we're looking at aggrieved parties, mostly from the right-wing groups, Hindu right-wing groups, who are demanding that a Supreme Court order be implemented. And their standpoint is valid. Undoubtedly, this is a Supreme Court's order. Why should this not be done?
No, we have no, we have no grievance with the fact that this order is being implemented. That is not the issue. Issue is this, that there is a hijab issue which comes up. Then there's a halal jatka issue. Then whether Muslims can actually sell their stuff around the temples. Then this is a fourth issue now coming one after the other, one after the other. So if I think India Today feels that this is the end of it, I think you're mistaken. Because till the elections, the BJP is going to raise one communal issue after the other so that they can benefit from it during an election. So this is the reason these issues are coming up. What is the timing of these issues? I think it's very important to see that. When Azan is being practiced for the last, I think, since 1924, people have been going to court on Azan. But why is it now that these people are raising this issue? Only for this reason, that let it help us during an election. So then what they do is if they press a button, then Sri Ram Sena comes up and the Bajrang Dal comes up, and they create all kinds of...
But Mr. Kalappa, Supreme Court's order is old. Had you implemented it, maybe this situation wouldn't have risen. One could accuse the Congress party of also playing appeasement politics.
No, I think that's an extremely, ridiculous argument for this reason, that these issues never crop up when there is Congress. Because Congress always believes in harmony, pluralism, and so on and so forth. So these issues never come up. Who's raising these issues? Like I said, these are sister organizations of the BJP, RSS. So that's the reason why these issues come up.
Whether this is RSS or backed with a motive, it has a legal standpoint. It is a Supreme Court's order that needs to be complied with. And of course, the BJP accusing the Congress of giving this a communal color.
No, see, the point is this, that insofar as the Congress party is concerned, we have been in governance for a long time. So also as the BJP, from 2008 till 13, they were in power. What did they do then? Do they have any explanation? The only explanation anybody can possibly give is that there are elections in 23.
Right. Let me ask that to Mr. Prakash. Yes, Prakash, an allegation that this is all an election gimmick, one after the other. There are controversies brewing in the state of Karnataka, which never saw this kind of communal polarization to such an extent, starting with hijab, halal, azan, loudspeakers, Muslim traders, boycott. This is an election gimmick entirely orchestrated by the BJP.
No, Mr. Brijesh Kalapa is a learned Supreme Court advocate. How can he say they are implementing their judgment by the Supreme Court is illegal and communal? I don't understand at all. And moreover, hijab issue was not raised by the BJP or any Hindu organization. It is those students who raised it. Halal, it was only campaigned by the several Hindu organizations, and BJP has nothing to do with it. They only said don't eat halal. Those who are not Muslims, don't take halal. By Jatka, how does it matter for Mr. Brijesh Kalapa if somebody says you will stick to your religious belief and let them stick to their religious belief? It is the problem with the Congress party. They are unable to take a neutral stand. They don't want to stand on the right side of the law or against the or for the rules. This is opposition leader Mr. D.K. Hariprasad reciting Hanuman Chalisa are called terrorists. This is the strong opinion they hold on the majority community. Congress party is always against the Hindus, and now it is now being reflected very brazenly.
Mr. Kalapa, this is has been a constant accusation against the Congress that the Congress party has largely been against the Hindus. Appeasement politics, appeasing the minorities has been your main agenda for vote bank, and in the melee have ignored the majority sentiment.
No, I think that again a ridiculous argument for this reason, that 90% of the Congress party is Hindu. So why would anybody in which a party is 90% Hindu, why would they be against the majority community? So you see, ultimately the point is this, that for this reason that, the BJP has no other argument. They keep saying the vote bank politics. So what is the BJP doing today? Is it not vote bank politics trying to harness the Hindu vote, right? Now, on each issue that the BJP is saying, ultimately people are now facing the brunt of their maladministration. Karnataka has become a 40% government. On every issue, on every scale, the Karnataka government is asking for 40%. Even from Swamiji.
You're being accused, BJP is being accused of diversionary tactics. You are ignoring the real issues. Many allegations of your government taking commission of 30-40%, but that's being sidelined and brushed under the carpet. Communal issues have been, highlighted to such an extent only to hide the shortcomings within your government.
This is a pathetic argument put out by the Congress party. They are the main opposition here. Who has stopped them from raising the issues against the government? He is accepting they have failed to convince the people that all the charges they have so far made. We don't need any cover-up for our governance. We are very happy a good governance is being given by our Chief Minister, Mr. Basavaraj Bommai. If they have any problem with it, let them go to the people and educate. Why do they come and complain here? And here, these Azan issue also, it is not raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party. It has nothing to do with it. Several Hindu organizations raising. The government has only...
No, but these Hindu organizations have been given much credibility and literally the wind beneath their wings. That's what the BJP has done to most of the Hindu right-wing groups. You all have given them so much credibility and liberty.
Does it mean that all these days the rule of law was not implemented, leverage was given to the minorities to have a free run on all the things, and no respect for constitution, no respect for court, and no respect for rule of law? Is that the argument can be put forth? It is not against the Muslim or Hindus or any other community. This rule applicable to everyone concerned.
Right. Mr. Kalapa, a quick word on if you will support the ban on loudspeakers illegally placed, and will you also coax many of those mosques to bring it down to decibel levels, if not pull it down completely?
Now, of course, decibel levels must be maintained. Insofar as illegal loudspeakers are concerned, even during Ganesh Chaturthi we face this problem. Even during Kannada Rajyotsava we face this problem. So this is something which, as a citizen, everybody should comply with. And everybody should agree that this is a nuisance and it's a harassment.
What is the problem?
So the problem is that you're only targeting one community. That's the problem. And ultimately your politics has not gone beyond that. You started in 1980 targeting one community. Gorwalkar targeted one community. Now you're doing exactly the same thing after so many years. I wish you came up with a new paradigm. Yeah, something about real governance. Something about, increasing the exports in the country, making the state of Karnataka number one in the country. But that is not the case. You want to make it in number one in terms of communal polarization. That's the problem.
All right, Mr. Kalapa, Mr. Prakash, really appreciate your time. Of course, this issue has only escalated in Karnataka. Karnataka, of course, is seeing heightened polarization ahead of elections, right, about 11 months away in the state. But nonetheless, this is a Supreme Court order. Loudspeakers must adhere to decibel levels that has been prescribed, and Bombay now gives a 15-day ultimatum.